welcome to the Be Progressive Show. I'm Brandon Neal. Today in this clip, we're going to be talking about the minimum wage debate. This morning early, I happened to see Lauren Boebert tweet right the second she tweeted something, and I was the first comment. I said, funny, the McDonald's CEO just stated that $15 an hour will not hurt them at all. And it went crazy from there, like with just right-wingers just attacking left and right, blocking people left and right, just crazy. And it's amazing to me that the Republican Party has convinced their base that a higher wage, a more than starvation wage, is a bad thing, and it would hurt them. It's pretty amazing. But anyway, after all that, I started kind of looking things up because I wanted to see, is there any merit to the arguments that if we raise the minimum wage from $7.25 federally to $15 an hour, will there be some massive job loss of millions and millions and millions of jobs? And of course, that's not true. The reason in the tweet that I responded with the McDonald's article is because every time I hear minimum wage brought up, it's always, well, we don't want burger flippers making the same money as somebody else, or, whatever. It's always like it relates directly to fast food jobs, and McDonald's is the biggest one. So McDonald's actually is the second largest, I think, employer in the United States that pays with minimum wage employees. They have like the second most minimum wage, and Walmart's number one. I think KFC, Taco Bell, and whatever other restaurant that Yum brand owns is the third, or they're all in the top three there somewhere. So it makes sense that I hear all these, oh, well, we're going to put kiosks in McDonald's and we're going to lose all these jobs, and we're going to raise the minimum wage in McDonald's and we're going to lose all these jobs, or we're going to have to pay $20 for a Big Mac. I hear all these dumb, like, Republican talking points that are not based in any fact. So I wanted to just kind of went and looked it up and read for an hour or so. I read a couple of studies on it, and it seems that the economists are really, like, completely divided on this. Even though we have several cities that we can study that have had $15 an hour minimum wage for several years now, we can actually look and see, did this cause job loss? And even though there was not massive job loss in any of the cities where this took place, there are still economists that say if we do this federally that it's doomsday. And then we have economists that say it won't affect anything at all, it should have been done a long time ago. So who do we believe? I've looked up several reports, and the Statistics and Labor Bureau. I've looked up, there was this report, there was a big long PDF here of a study that had collected a bunch of minimum wage or wage studies and reports and put them together and kind of made a mean average of what everyone's feelings are, and it's still pretty much divided that some people say one, some people say the other. They do state in this study, if you want to read it, I can put it in the description box. It's very long and very dry and very boring. But it does say that the benefit from raising the minimum wage from $7.25 to $15 would bring up almost 1 million plus people out of poverty right off the bat, because we have a lot of people that are just, right at that poverty line. So that would be good. The thing that this is going to hurt is the small business. Now, when I say small business, I don't mean small businesses and you got like 150 employees. I mean like small businesses, you got 5. Those tiny businesses would, if we were to go from $7.25 to $15 overnight, it would automatically, cause them financial stress. And I understand that, and people on the left understand that. We're not discounting those people, but we're just saying that if we have a majority of the country that needs X, but it's going to hurt a very small amount of people that can just enter the market, a lot of those people could just immediately take another job at a McDonald's or at some place and be making that $15 an hour that this small business laid them off for. So it's not like the worker is going to have any problems, because they are going to be able to find minimum wage jobs that are the same amount that this guy just fired them for. No big deal. They'll be fine. It's the small business owner, which is always why the Republicans throw a fit about it, because they're all about, small business and all this. And, really, if you can't afford to pay your employees, whether you have 1 or 1 million, a livable wage and not starvation wage, then you can't afford to start a business, and you should not do that. And there are a lot of very irresponsible business owners, I've worked for a few, that just will skimp you every way they can. They will do everything they can to not pay you. And I don't think that the amount of small businesses that we're going to lose is going to be anywhere near the benefit that we reap. And so I went in and started doing some math on this, and I found out maybe it's that people just hear $15 an hour and I made $4.25 an hour when I was a kid. I worked at McDonald's and made $4.25 an hour. Yeah. And so maybe if they just hear the actual breakdown or see how much money is actually being made, then maybe it would change people's minds. And so I got to looking, and if you make $7.25 an hour and you work 40 hours a week for 4 weeks in a month after federal taxes and before state, because you could live in any state, you're making around $1,000, probably a little bit less. I had it at about $1,020 before state taxes. And so whatever your state taxes is probably going to bring it down below that. So you're looking at what, $900, $950 maybe per month, okay? How much is the average one-bedroom apartment in the United States? Do you know? Well, I went and looked, and I found a list of the top 10 cheapest cities to live in the United States. The average for a one-bedroom apartment in the cheapest cities, in the cheapest city, number one, was $600 per month for a one-bedroom. Now this, or a studio. Just a studio, very small apartment, okay? So now you've got paid $900 and $950 is all you got in your pocket. The beginning of the month, you just got paid. Now you got to pay rent. So, well, there's your $950. You just lost $600 of it, bare minimum, gone. So you're looking at maybe $350. So now you got to eat. Now you got to put gas in the car. Now you got to pay a phone bill. Even if you have the absolute most dirt cheap phone plan, period, it's still $50, $60, $70 a month. Even if you buy like the dirt cheapest plan. Now, there's many things that you need to live. A cell phone nowadays is not luxury. A cell phone is absolute necessity, period. Internet, absolute necessity. There's another bill for you. Light bill, gas bill. So if you think that it's okay to pay workers that wage where they literally cannot live, then I just don't want to have anything to do with you. You're just an immoral person that can fuck off. I mean, that's just all there is to it. And that's what the Republicans are arguing. And in fact, I think if the Republicans were left unchecked, they would have no minimum wage. They would let people, pay people whatever. And that is really the ultimate goal for them. So it's bullshit. If $15 an hour is really going to affect your business, you can't afford to run that business. I'm sorry. That's just ridiculous that you're willing to pay people that small for their labor. And it's just, in 2021, it's not going to fly. So now there's, a bill out that's saying that we're going to try and raise this for over 5 years, up to $15 an hour. Some people didn't want to do that. Thought it should be $15 an hour right now, because if had it tracked with inflation and productivity of businesses, it would be around $22 an hour. And so we're well overdue for a raise. And so there were some people that said do it now, and I don't think that's actually a good idea, because there are small businesses like that have 5, 10, 20 employees that it is going to hurt them. And if they get 5 years of a tier step where they're going from $7.25 an hour to $9 an hour to $12, if they're doing this over a five-year period, they'll have time to work it out. So don't listen to the doomsayers on this. This is something that is needed to be done. It's ridiculous that it hasn't been done. And it's ridiculous that we live in a country where you can work 40 hours a week and not be able to afford to live, period. You just can't do it. People that work 40-hour-a-week minimum wage jobs that live on their own, that aren't married, they usually have 2 jobs. So that makes them putting, $1,800 a month? But you're also working, 16-hour days. So no, we're not doing that anymore. We're going to be raising the minimum wage. And I think that, once this happens and we see all this play out, as usual, the Republican scare tactics are just going to be shown to be just that. Just scare tactics and nothing based in fact. But that's the Republican way.